Utah, give me 2.
Hey, what's up? It's Palazzo Podcast. I'm Michael Govier. We're in your face. It's the fabulous Waiver Wire live chat Sunday. We are officially on our way to week complete, full, nonstop MLB action. That's right. We got a whole week MLB action to look forward to. Isn't that awesome? You see all this stuff? Here we go. Breaking news. Chad's in the live chat. What's up, Chad? How you doing, brother? We got a little bit of breaking news. Alec Thomas has sustained a leg injury, and that would put Jake McCarthy, despite my total disdain, into an everyday role for the foreseeable future. Well, bye! We got to see how bad it is first, right? Bozo. Hi, Mike. Hey, Philip Carl. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Man, we got Chad in here. We got Phil. Anybody can be a part of this thing. We're just going to talk about what's going on here. Fantasy baseball additions, subtractions. Is it time to pull the plug? Is it time to remain calm? Everybody wants Jared Jones, but not everybody can have Jared Jones. Jared Jones had a hell of a start. Really quite impressive against the Marlins. In fact, the Pirates kicked some ass down in South Florida, right? It was impressive.
That's putting it mildly.
I was very, very impressed. And again, if you watch this show, listen to this show, I told you the Pirates were a playoff contender this year. Lock that in 10,000 times plus infinity. Brady Singer, today. I feel really good about this. And you know, when something goes well, let's celebrate it. Let's dive into it. Let's appreciate it. And drafting Brady Singer on Tuesday in our main event draft, which for those of you who don't know, is on NFBC, which is a platform where you can play fantasy baseball. They got all kinds of leagues. One of them is the main event, which costs $1,700 per team. And the overall prize is like $175,000. I think maybe it's $200,000 this year. And you also win $7,000 just for winning your league. So right now, the goal for me and my partner, Jeff, shout out to Jeff, who would not be possible without him, made that team happen. We're co-managing a team for our main event. And I was telling Jeff, we needed to draft Brady Singer. We have to get Brady Singer on this roster. I got to have me some Brady Singer. I can't live without Brady Singer. This guy is being undervalued right now because of last year. He struggled last year, even though he still pitched 155 innings. So one thing I was in favor of is that he's still throwing a fair amount of innings every year. And 2 years ago, he had an excellent season, which was supported by the peripherals. It was outstanding. But yet, Brady Singer had fallen into basically an afterthought in most 12-teamers, obviously 10-teamers, and maybe would get drafted in 15-teamers, depending on the team, with an ADP of 400 plus. And after today, I think that's going to change.
Genius, genius, genius.
Yeah, well, we all have our moments.
That's putting it mildly.
That's right. And I'm really, really happy for Brady Singer today. 7 innings, 10 Ks, dominated the Minnesota Twins, who were like just not ready to be there today, maybe. I mean, it's fair. It is a Sunday, a dreary day. And it's like, all right, I've had enough of the Royals. I can understand maybe wanting to go home, but they're still a professional baseball organization, are they not? So, knowing that, boy, I got to tell you, I'm feeling the funk of what Brady Singer's throwing down. So take a look at what he did last year. You know, it wasn't outstanding. It didn't change lives, but he's better than that. He's better than those numbers. Finkel's here. Thoughts on Cronenworth and Campusano? That's a good one. That's a really good one. Let me just be clear, though. Brady Singer and what he did today is not a fluke. The guy was working on adding the classic sweeper that every pitcher must have now, right? Sweepers, sweepers, sweepers. You gotta get those sweepers. And I'll tell you, I don't know if it's going to last, if he's going to be able to be more than a 2-pitch pitcher now, Brady Singer. I still have to look at the StatCast data to see how much of the sweeper he used today. But I know Brady Singer's a guy who battles. And even with 2 pitches in 2022, he was really, really good. So, you know, something to think about there. But let's talk about Campusano. First off, Cronenworth. I'm so annoyed by Cronenworth. It's just not my kind of guy. I hate having him on my fantasy teams. I always have. And I'm not sure why it is. He just seems like a guy that, I don't know, he just kind of bums me out, you know? It's like, oh, there's Jake Cronenworth. Wow. We're all having a great time, aren't we?
Wow, dude.
But, 6 RBIs. I know some of those obviously came in the 2-game sample size in the most ridiculously absurd waste of time faux opening day. Have 2 games in Korea, which is really cool. I love spreading the game around the world. But you have it on March 20th. Meanwhile, all these other teams are working on spring training for another week or so, get to make roster decisions. It just was so out of whack. It was poor decision making with the schedule. Have it in Korea, but just have it closer and more bunched up to the rest of the regular season. But Jake Cronenworth, he's got prime positioning, right? Have you been looking at where he's playing in the lineup as well? It looks like a new manager, Shieldheads. That's right, Mike Shield, former Cardinals manager. Us Shieldheads out there. Likes him and has been using him in situations where he could be of use. Hitting third in the lineup is a great thing. So he's definitely worth adding in 10 teamers, in 12 teamers. I really think that. I don't have any doubts about that. Let me jump over here to the Yahoo player page. Here's Cronenworth. Oh, why does it look so terrible? There you go. Make that look a little better. So obviously you see here, he's been hitting third in the lineup. He's been getting on base. He's got a hot bat. So ride the hot hand, especially since on Yahoo you can get 2 positions with Jake Cronenworth. He's definitely worth adding. There's no doubt about it. He's in the lineup. He plays every day, and play him until he goes poo-poo, right? Then it's time to move on. Let's take a look at Campusano. Now, I really liked Campusano coming into the season. His name's not Jake Campusano. Go away. I drafted Campusano a couple times. Wanted to have him a few more. So seeing that he's put some wood on the ball, got a home run today, 3 RBIs, that's outstanding. I love Campusano. So my preseason pick, I was targeting Campusano as a starting catcher, and he's hitting well to start the year. He's hitting 7th in the lineup, but, I'm not always obsessed with, hey, he's 7th in the lineup, so even if he dominates, who cares? No, that matters. So I'm picking up Campusano, I'm picking up Cronenworth. I like both. Campusano would probably be rostered in a lot of leagues already. In fact, what's the roster percentage on Campusano here? It is... Oh, where did they go? How come they don't show that? They always show that on you. Oh, yeah, now it's right here. That's weird, isn't it? Why would it be there but not there? Sorry about that. Let's look under catchers and just look at all players and see if it shows us, because I want to get the roster percentage on. By the way, this David Fry guy of Cleveland. Fry guy! I'm hilarious. Fry guy. He had a good game the other day, and he's off to a decent start, but don't get sucked into David Fry. Be like, oh, cool, David Fry. I'm not buying that. Bo Naylor's there, okay? David Fry could jump in and be a nice player on occasion, once in a blue moon, maybe as in DFS or a daily streamer, but let's not get carried away here. All right, where's Campusano's roster percentage? All right, so he's 47% rostered in Yahoo League. So that means Campusano is widely available, and he should absolutely be added. Add Campusano now. I'm locking it in and making that clear. So hope that helps you, Finkel. Make sure you subscribe and like and do all the things to help the show grow. I threw this in the Reddit. I know people in Reddit get angry at me because it's subreddit. That's just what they do. Hey, Uncle Ted, what's up, Teddy? Teddy, I was in a draft yesterday, and I was thinking of you because somebody drafted Thomas Say Gise, right? Say Gise. But somebody said it so terribly, and I was like, oh, I remember when I used to be that guy. I didn't know how to say it. Now I do. So Uncle Ted, I always think of him when I think of you, and I think of him. It's really intertwined. Chad says, official data for Singer, 4 changeups, 1 sweeper. Everything else was sinker, slider. Well, I don't care. Like I said, he went through a whole season and was really, really good with 2 pitches. If he's just getting better, and if he can mix in... That changeup is not very good from what I've always gathered. Singer's changeup is... it's not great. Uncle Ted says, Flaherty killed it today. Did he? Oh, shit. Our man? The next Zach Eflin? Oh, Nelly. Tigers won 3-2. Yep, look at that. I fucking knew it. See, I hadn't had a chance to see the Flaherty numbers from you yet today. Look at that. 6 innings, 7 Ks. Everybody can eat shit who was telling, oh, that's ridiculous. Uncle Ted, you and I, we're ride or die. We called this, did we not? Big Ben Brown is a must-add. Even though Ben Brown got absolutely destroyed yesterday as a relief pitcher by the Rangers, an 11-2 loss. That was not great at all. But, yeah, I'm not going to... Ben Brown comes in relief. He just got called up, and he doesn't do well. I'm not going to put a lot of stock into that. Ben Brown of the Cubs he's a talented arm. He's highly touted and well-received. So Ben Brown is worth adding, especially because Justin Steele's going to be out for at least a month. Justin Steele got hurt, but it wasn't the injury I was worried about. I was worried about his elbow at the end of last year, but now it's the hamstring. Either way, you luck out sometimes, right? Uncle Ted also says Ronald Blanco will be a breakout. Well, this is another guy. If you've watched this show, if you've listened to the show, I told you about Ronald Blanco during our preseason draft prep. There's 6 episodes of draft episodes. Hours and hours of preseason draft coverage. Ronald Blanco. Oh, God, I'm gone blurry. I hate when this happens. Wah, wah, wah. Hang on a second. I'm going to do this. Boop, bye-bye. And nope. Oh, God. You know, it gets really annoying. It's a good camera, but it keeps doing weird stuff. So now I got to switch to this camera right now. I'm down here. Wait, now I'm back up here. And I'm orange. Oh! And I'm back. See, that's all it took. But yeah, Ronald Blanco is a guy, when the injury issues with Verlander being out in the rotation for Houston became more and more of a problem. Blanco was a guy who was serviceable last year. You had to look in the game log for the moments to see what Blanco did. But I'll tell you what, I was a fan. I was definitely piqued my interest. Like, oh, Ronald Blanco, who's this dude? And do yourself a favor, even though Hunter Brown did not give the best start. He took on the Yankees on Saturday night. It was not awesome, but it wasn't terrible either. So I'm still very, very happy about Hunter Brown. They worked him a lot. He ended up throwing 88 pitches, couldn't get out of 4 innings, and sometimes that happens. So I'm not freaking out. I'm a fan of Hunter Brown. But if we look at Ronald Blanco's game log from last year, as I pull this up for you now, here we go. So look, there were a few moments in here where you could say, oh, 2023 Ronald Blanco. Look at this. June 30th against Texas, 5 innings, 3 earned, 2 dongs, 4 walks. Ew. He did get the win. Not a great win, obviously, but the following outing on that one, 9 Ks in 6 innings. He took the loss, only gave up 3 earned runs against Seattle on July 6th of last year. So there were moments where you could say, ooh, this guy's interesting. And obviously that was his best start, Ronald Blanco's best start of 2023 on July 6th against Seattle. There's something there. I'm definitely in deeper leagues, Ronald Blanco's a focus point. I don't think I'd be adding Ronald Blanco in 10-teamers, 12-teamers, 14 and deeper. I think that sounds good, right? Uncle Ted says Bryce Miller gave up like 11 runs in the first against the Rangers. Oh! Was that in his first career outing? Is that what you're saying? And so you're doing a Ben Brown comparison, I think. There we go. Chad, and just to reinforce what you said, those 4 changeups were 3 balls and a hit by pitch. Is that hilarious? I'm stealing on Brady Singer. I don't care. Hey, Jason's here. What's up, man? Hey, this is the draft I was talking about yesterday, Uncle Ted, with Thomas Say. Jason, good to see you, dude. What's up? Jason says, Hunter Brown, Wayne State University, St. Clair Shore, stand up. That's right. Woo, woo, there it is. Local Michiganders. We're always ride or die for Metro Detroit and Michigan around here. That's where I'm from. That's where the show originates from. But yeah, Jason, I was glad to be your proxy yesterday, and Jason made it in. I was able to get Jason, Shohei Ohtani, and Ronald Acuna Jr. This is an NL-only league. Paid $55 for Acuna and $43 for Ohtani. You guys can make your own determinations on whether or not I blew it for Jason, but those were his instructions. I just followed Jason's instructions because I was his proxy, so he was pleased. Uncle Ted says Matt Waldron is a must. He absolutely he mowed down everyone this spring he faced. Okay, first career outing. Waldron's knuckleball is next level. Ooh, well, we like next level around here. Well, every pitcher has a shortcoming.
We're going to get all in your face and point out your faults.
That's what we do around here. I mean, that's what fantasy baseball is, right? It's like, hey, you suck, you're good. Hey, you might be good. Hey, you might suck. Hey, who knows? You know, comparison is the death of joy. Long time ago, somebody said that. But in fantasy baseball, I don't know how you function without it, right?
That's putting it mildly.
Yeah, that is putting it mildly. But yeah, Jason, good to see you in here, man. I want to see you in the live chats more often. Let's party. So, Matt Waldron. Okay, Matt Waldron. So Uncle Ted wants us to know that Matt Waldron mowed down everybody. Now, everybody should know Uncle Ted plays Dynasty. He's big into Dynasty, so he's always looking like the next thing. But he also wants players that are going to be useful for you now. And Matt Waldron is a guy who is 27 years old, San Diego Padres. He was kind of a afterthought pick long ago, 2019 draft, an 18th round pick. So not like Matt Waldron was a big deal, but his minor league numbers are, well, they're not bad. You know, last year he made his MLB debut. He pitched 41 innings, had a 4.35 ERA. He started 6 games, so he didn't get a lot of action last year. He got a little taste of MLB. There's more on the bone there with Matt Waldron. So I'll keep an eye on him for you. I'll lock that in. Thanks, Uncle Ted. We always are on the move here. Jason says, I love deep talk anyways. Yeah, you want to do deep talk? Let's do it. Uncle Ted says, why draft starters? There are so many good young starters now. So are you saying don't draft starting pitching until way later in the draft, and then even in redraft, and we're going to win our leagues? I mean, even in, you know, that's a bit extreme. I mean, in the main event, for example, with the big money, right? 15-team Roto 5x5, $1,700 per entry fee. You know, pitching get way pushed up in that draft on Tuesday. That draft just happened on Tuesday. And all right, Dickie, yeah, there's a throwback. That's nice. But pitching was getting pushed and pushed and pushed in that draft to the point that I had to push Brady Singer up 120 spots from his ADP to get him because I didn't want to lose him. I already lost out on Aaron Savali, and I was pissed about that. Ugh.
That's putting it mildly.
Actually, I think that's saying I was pissed. I don't know if that's mildly or not, James. Uncle Ted says, I didn't draft a starter before round 10 in any league from 10, 12, and a 16 team. Okay, well, you know, who's in your league, who you're competing against, all of these things are variables, right? So you could be a badass. You could be in a league full of doofuses, and you could make things work out in your favor by not drafting a starter until round 10 in a 10, 12, or 16 teamer. It is possible. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just telling you, Uncle Ted, that who's in your league, what platform it's on, what's the entry point. A lot of these things can modify what we're trying to figure out. Jason says, non-trade league, you have to invest in arms. Non-trade league, you do have to invest in arms. Yep, that's a good call. I agree. Trade leagues? If it's a trade league, you can always acquire somebody. And so you can dump a player when he's hot and get out while the getting's good. And then you might get value on somebody who's not performing as well. You understand what I'm saying? I know you do. Oh, don't give me that crap. Shut up. Got to plug in my charger here. Live Palazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's.
Utah. Give me 2.
Great opening weekend. What was your favorite moment? Throw it in the live chat. I'd love to hear what it is. All right, so let's talk about some players here. This is a waiver wire fab show. How much to spend? Who to panic on? Let's get to it. So I'm going to look at available batters, and I'm going to give you, well, actually, let's do it from I want to do this for everybody. Man of the people I plan to be. That's my goal. I've always tried to be. So let's look at it from a 10-team perspective, and we'll build out from there. Okay? And if you don't like it, well, then give me a specific example in the live chat, and I will try to service you as best I can. I'm good at servicing people. Michael Conforto is off to a good start, and I know I'm already regretting not having enough Conforto shares. The reason why? Because it makes a lot of sense that he would be better this year than he was last year. Remember the massive layoff. Sat out in 2022. He wasn't around. He comes back, signs with the Giants. Showed a few moments last year. Conforto flashed, right? It wasn't oh, dude, that guy was like, I got to have Michael Conforto. But he did go on that tear after he got off to a horrendous start, which, again, makes sense last year. He got off to a horrendous start in 2023 because he'd been out of the game, right? He just hadn't been doing his thing. Now he's back, had a year under his belt. And, again, this is the 2020. So far, 2024, he's on fire. It's only 13 plate appearances, so let's slow down. But he's got a couple dongs. His hard contact is not that great, though. And he is whiffing. This is the smallest sample size ever, so it's kind of stupid. But it makes sense from a psychological perspective that Conforto would be better this year than last. That's mainly my point here. So if he's available, hitting a grand slam makes him look good, right? Oh, wow, Conforto hit a grand slam. He's amazing. Conforto's a guy I'd like to add. Now, I don't think we're adding Conforto beyond 12-teamers. I don't even know if we'll add Conforto in a 10-teamer. I think he still might sit on the waiver wire. This league right here, I'm showing you, this player database is a 10-team league, right? So Conforto is available. He's a free agent. And I might pick him up. I'm going to think it over. All right, so Nick Martini. This is another name. Nick Martini. We got to have Nick Martini. He double dongs on opening day. sits down the next day, still drives in 2 runs, and then today he started and went 1 for 3. Again, hitting in the 8 hole, right? I don't give a shit. Well, I do give a shit a little bit because Nick Martini he had a nice cup of coffee last year, but nobody talked about Nick Martini in the preseason. Nobody came into this live chat and said, we got to break down Nick Martini. It didn't happen. Check the tapes. Oh, Uncle Ted said Bailey Ober got Bailey Ober got destroyed today.
Wow, dude.
Wow, dude. Bailey Ober, what were you thinking today? Brady Singer on one side of the bump, Bailey Ober on the other. Everybody started Bailey Ober against the Royals today, and the Royals put up 11 runs, destroyed the Twins 11-0. That's okay. I'm not going to freak out yet. You can't drop Bailey Ober yet. It sucks that you have to wear 8 earned runs. And right now, somebody's already pissed. Just like me last year, when I had to wear those 9 earned runs from Yu Darvish or Sandy Alcantara early on in the season. It happens. It happens every year. It sucks. It's a bummer, man. Uncle Ted says, I'd keep an eye out for all those dummies that will knee-jerk and drop Ober. Absolutely. 100%.
Thank you so much, Mr. Funk, for saying what needed to be said.
You said it, Uncle Ted. You're right. Do not drop Bailey Ober. Don't freak out. You have to wear it. Jason says, 10-teamers biggest ads, Jaron Jones, I guess. Well, Jaron Jones is our cover boy for today's show. Pretty neat, huh? Pretty cool. I don't think I have any Jared Jones. And that sucks for me. I was feeling it. I was getting excited, but I also found myself suddenly overwhelmed. Like, oh, crap. I still have a fair amount of leagues. I've got a lot of work to do, actually, after this show. I'm only going to be on for a little bit. I got to go do the work. Yeah, there's a ton of fab work. I got to get my rosters in order and be ready. I'm just kind of chalking up these first 3 days. Like, okay, these first 3 days happen. It's not the end of the world. But come Monday, I want all my rosters to be aligned, proper positions, every position filled, no IL players all over the place. I mean, I did a draft at FPAS, the First Pitch Arizona auction draft, which happened in November of last year. And I had a lot of injured players on that roster. It eventually got uploaded. It's on Fantrax. And I got some work to do. Andy Rodriguez is one of my catchers that I took. And in November, that was a great pick. I was very happy about it. I got Tyler Glasnow for $1. Or my final $7, I think it was. He was my last pick. It was like nothing. It was so cheap. It was awesome. So take the good with the bad. I got to make some adjustments, but I got Tyler Glasnow for cheap. That's what a November draft will do for you. I don't do a lot of November drafts. That's like a one and done. I did it, so I'll leave it there.
You can't blame all your problems on us, Govier.
All right, thank you, Dylan Cease. I appreciate that. I'm glad when Dylan Cease can chime in here on the show. Uncle Ted says Jordan Hicks looked awesome. Yes, he did. Jordan Hicks got the job done. And Jason says Martini available in that NL only. Yeah, NL only. I'd definitely pick up Martini. Yes, I would. It makes sense. And with the injuries the Reds have right now, he's somebody that I can see Martini having a good April, and then by June he's gone. We're gonna see a lot of examples of this. Let me just stop real quick here. We're gonna see a lot of examples of players that either suck right now or are really good, and neither one of those will last come June, come July. It'll be a different situation. Nick Martini will be an afterthought eventually this season. I feel confident saying that. I do. Right? So you let the good times roll. Alex Lang, Tigers closer. Oh, my God. God, he really let me down yesterday.
Go Tigers.
Alex Lang, I watched him in the game against the White Sox. Tie game 6-6. They bring Alex Lang in the 7th inning to pitch. High leverage, right? Again, not a closing situation. And Alex Lang, he walks 3 batters. He gets a strikeout. He does. He gets 1 K, but then he walks Luis Robert, I think, and it's like, okay, that's it. You're done. Loads the bases with 1 out. In comes Will Vest. Go Tigers, right? Will Vest. Can he get
Go
Tigers out of the jam here? By the way, it was so rad. Such a pleasure to have the man himself, our new broadcaster for the Tigers. I mean, I'm so sorry that everybody in Chicago on the South Side lost out because we are very, very lucky right now. We're very lucky. We are so lucky, man. We got Jason Benetti. It's so awesome. It's so awesome.
Go Tigers.
So happy that we got Jason Benetti now. It makes the game that much better. It really is. I love watching Jason, listening to Jason Benetti, watching him do his thing. As somebody who wanted to be a broadcaster, a play-by-play guy, I love Benetti. And the Tigers have Benetti. So Benetti announces this play as Will Vest gets Eloy Jimenez to ground into an inning-ending double play, sparing Alex Lang, but reducing Alex Lang's value in the bullpen right now. I mean, it's Jason Foley, it's Shelby Miller, it's Will Vest, and then it's Alex Lang right now. It really is. And I'm telling you, I'm somebody locally, but I bet by July, Alex Lang will be good. He'll be back on track. He threw 5 straight curveballs to Luis Robert, who wasn't biting. So, you do what you can. Hey, Joe, what's up, buddy? Joe's here. Joe says, what about my alcohol fantasy league? Martini has to be the main fab candidate, right? Locked in, Joe. You got it. Real quick, back to Jordan Hicks here. He didn't give up a run. He pitched 5 innings. He struck out 6, I believe, right? It was a nice little Saturday. Got the job done. And I was way out on Jordan Hicks. I don't have him anywhere this year. I had to see it to believe it, but seeing is believing. Jordan Hicks, 1 for 1 so far. Doesn't mean his next outing won't be hell. I like to look at the hard hit balls. Really, we got to look at the StatCast data. That's what matters most, right? I'm diving in to how hard he got hit. Did he get lucky? Did he not get lucky? You got to see it. If you don't see it, you do have to look at the StatCast data first and say, okay, well, it looks like Jordan Hicks, just had one of those days. Or is there something more to come? Is Jordan Hicks going to miss more and more bats? I mean, he's never pitched 100 innings in a season, right? Jordan Hicks not been available to be that kind of pitcher. And he took on the Padres. So here we are. Let me pull this up for you so we can all play along. Okay. Jordan Hicks. Jordan. I like the player breakdowns. Yes, here we go. Jordan Hicks. Right here. So he threw 36 stinkers, 21 sweepers, and the splitter, and then 10 four-seamers. Wow. So he's heavy on the sinker, and he got 4 whiffs on the splitter, which is good. 3 whiffs on the sinker. CSW for the game, 31%. A whiff rate of 24%. Hardest hit balls. I want to see pitch velocity. Of course, he throws gas. I'd like to see the hardest hit balls. So if we can see the, interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so I think overall, looking at this, exit velo, there we go. Hardest hit balls by a Padre. Jake Cronenworth cranked 100. Hey, Jake Cronenworth, 105 miles per hour. Profar. I can't believe Profar's just there. Nobody talked about Profar that I can recall most of the preseason. We didn't talk about him at all, but there he is on the Padres, still just doing his thing. It looks like not bad. Not bad. That was in 6th inning, 9th inning. So some of these were off other pitchers. I think it looks like Jordan Hicks did a pretty solid job then. Not a dominant start, but we'll take it. Uncle Ted says, Keaton Winn, just wait. Now, Keaton Winn's injury concerns really freaked me out. We had Gavin Williams, we have Yuri Perez, we had Keaton Winn, Kyle Bradish. These are elbow injury issues that were freaking me out, so I was staying away. But if Keaton Winn's back and ready to rock now, then I will regret not taking one shot at him because I talked about Keaton Winn on this show. I was like, dude, Keaton Winn, he's going to start on Monday. So you could be looking at a 2-stepper with Keaton Winn, which is a player to add. It's definitely worth taking a shot. Go for it. Take a chance. Take a chance, take a chance, take a chance, take a chance on me. Right? Keaton Winn. Fun. Here you go. Slated to take on those pesky Dodgers, though. Oh, no. That's going to be scary. I don't feel great about that. But why not? I mean, it's a tall order. Look, last year, 42 innings, 35 Ks in 42 innings. Nice whip. I mean, it's only 42 innings, 4.68 ERA. I'd have to look at the peripherals here because we're on the Yahoo page. But, yeah, get in where you fit in. Check it out. All right, I want to get back over to some other hitters we're looking at. Mark Canha, my Bozo Tigers, got off to a good start, had a nice game, stole a base yesterday, too. That was awesome. He's in the lineup. He's right there in the thick of it. And he doesn't look like it looks like Mark Canha is a part of this thing. Now, he's a great OBP guy. He's always been a more valuable OBP player. That's for sure. Jason wants to know, when the hell is my boy Tommy Pham going to sign? Dude, good luck with that one. I could care less. I didn't know Tommy Pham was your boy, but I did see him on your roster since I was your proxy yesterday. But Tommy Pham, We have a Tommy Pham fantasy football channel in our Discord. Check that out. Palazzo Podcast.
Utah.
2 L's, 2 Z's.
Give me 2.
But yeah, Mark Tanya. This is a guy I think we should all pick up because this Tigers offense is going to be way better than it was last year. Miguel Cabrera is gone. That burden, unfortunately, yeah. I said it. Miguel Cabrera became a burden in his last year. He was just done. And he was holding his team back. And you can just see it on the team now. They're fired up. They're all together. These smart signings of Kenya, bringing in veterans mixed in with their youngsters with like Colt Keith. It's really cool. Even Carson Kelly, who's a guy I profiled on the Patreon. That's right. Patreon starts at $3. Palazzo Podcast.
Utah.
And
Give me
Carson
2.
Kelly, I actually think Carson Kelly could usurp that role from Jake Rogers. They're basically the same age. Carson Kelly went 3 for 5 yesterday for the Tigers, drove in the game-winning run against the White Sox. Just saying. Just saying. If Carson Kelly is healthy, it's all about Kelly being healthy. Kelly being healthy. Kelly must be healthy. Carson Kelly must be healthy. Because Jake Rogers is just power. There's nothing else there. And I feel confident saying that. But Mark Canya's got a lot more power. He could offer you plenty of goodness. And I would add him. I would add Mark Kenya in 12-teamers and deeper for sure. J.D. Davis is a guy who I've always loved. Had a double dong game against Cleveland, which was awesome. I love J.D. Davis. I've always loved his bat. He was a great add as a corner infielder. He should definitely be added in 14-teamers and deeper and monitored in 12 and 10-teamers. And then there's Jared Walsh. Jared Walsh went 3 for 5. Jared Walsh, who took everything from me. You know, he's going to screw up my playing time for Ezekiel Duran a little bit, but Jared Walsh was out of this game, and now he's back on the scene. And the Rangers have just put him right in the lineup, too. So here you go, buddy. Go to town. Now, he's got Tampa Bay on the road this week, and this is also a platoon situation, so he'll probably sit against lefties. I mean, he sat opening day, and then he played on March 30th and 31st, right? Jared Walsh did. So watch this for platoon issues, but, you know, that lineup, the Texas Rangers are loaded. There's a lot of good offenses in MLB these days. I mean, did you see all the runs? We saw a lot of runs yesterday and today. The Royals scored 11 today. Yesterday, there was a couple double digits. Like I said, the Rangers scored 11 against the Cubs. So usually, you know, the opening weekend, April, it's colder out there, but we've seen a lot of offense in the last 2 days. That's for damn sure. Joe says, Kenta Maeda's next start is home against the A's. We have to hold for at least that game, right? Right? Of course we do. Oh, yeah, we're not. Now, somebody on Twitter pointed out quite well that Kenta Maeda he has like almost a run higher for his career in March, April. It's just not his time. But you can't drop Maeda. I know he got ripped by the White Sox, who actually, you know, the White Sox have hitters, man. Their pitching is going to be a problem, but the White Sox hitters are there. There's guys that I like Vaughn and, yes, Eloy a bit. Yeah, Moncada, yeah. Luis Robert, obviously, he's a god. But, you know, the Michael Harris versus Luis Robert player comp video we did, Two Little Mice, in the preseason, I went with Harris by a nose over Robert. And even though Luis Robert double donged yesterday, Kenta Maeda was on the hill for one of those, I believe. Or maybe, was it both? He hit both? Because that sucks. It was a terrible outing for Maeda. Just chalk it up to, hey, that happens. I'm not dropping Maeda yet. I would drop Maeda in a 10-teamer. I would drop Maeda maybe in a 12-teamer, but I certainly would not drop Maeda in 14-teamers and deeper. Context matters. Your league matters, right? Right. But, yeah, the White Sox, their offense is going to be interesting. There'll be some fun days on the south side. All right, who else? Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson. Classic Jock Peterson. He goes 4 for 4. This is such a clear platoon situation, is it not? And it was the Rockies who suck, but the Rockies did actually beat the Diamondbacks after scurving up 16 runs at opening day. Nice job, Rockies. Those Coors Field. It wasn't even that Coors Field.
Coors.
It was in Arizona. So get the hell out of here with that. Man. Jeez.
This right here is a silver bullet, all the way from Colorado.
Yeah. And some of those dongs that Jock Peterson hit, you can see all the way from Colorado. I'm hilarious. Yeah, Jock Peterson's a platoon situation, so don't get too caught up in that. I'm not. Orlando Arcia looks good. Orlando Arcia should be added. He probably should be rostered in a lot of leagues already because you want to be a part of this Braves lineup. And I underestimated Arcia last year, but it seems like the Braves have really tapped into something with him. He's a real deal. He's a guy that should be on 14-teamers and deeper for sure, at least. Oh, that is Connor Joe. Hey, guess who's hitting leadoff? That's right. Look at that. 4 straight games, guys. 4 straight games, Connor Joe hit leadoff for the Pittsburgh Pirates. They won all 4 games. He got on base in every game, scored 3 runs yesterday, and had 2 multi-hit games. And Connor Joe was just left for dead. We also saw O'Neill Cruz hitting leadoff during spring, and it was like, oh, O'Neill Cruz hitting leadoff. But it's been Connor Joe's time in Pittsburgh. And so I thought that this would, again, another platoon situation. And I guess I'd have to check. The Marlins rolled out A.J. Puck, who sucked. And I don't think A.J. Puck is going to be that great of a starter this year. Even with this start where you don't panic. Like I said, do not panic. Maeda struggled. That's okay. We'll wait on Kenta Maeda. But with A.J. Puck, I did not draft him anywhere. And I'm not going to be in business with him because he's been a reliever. I mean, how many innings were we really going to get out of Puck this year anyways? Yes, he's a talented pitcher, but as a starter, there's not a lot to base that off of. So no thanks. Nope, not for me. I'm just not feeling that. I'm not feeling AJ Puck, and I was already out of business with Puck, so that's my philosophy, and I'm sticking to it. If you want to stick with it, I can't blame you. If you believe that AJ Puck has more to offer, I cannot tell you to bail. I mean, I want to bail because I would never be there in the first place. But if you believe in AJ Puck, stay the course. That's my opinion on AJ Puck. But Connor Joe, he should be added. He's hitting leadoff. He's doing stuff. Okay, now this is dumb. This is Tyler Wade. Tyler Wade he started a few games already, and he's gotten on base and scored some runs. Whatever, man. I don't care about Tyler Wade. Tyler Wade's somebody you add in deep leagues. Like deep leagues. Brandon Lau had a grand slam over the weekend. Brandon Lau is back. He's going to be healthy. He's back. I was buying into him. I believe in Brandon Lau. I want him. I want Brandon Lau. Bryce Terang. Now, here's a guy who stole 4 bases already. He stole 3 bags on Saturday. That was awesome. Now, he had a rough go last year, but when he got called up last year, I mean, he was a solidly touted prospect. Bryce Terang was a guy that people wanted to be in business with, but he was an afterthought coming into this year for a lot of teams, because a lot of fantasy managers felt that he could not get on base enough, be a consistent threat. If he can just be a guy who makes good contact, can hit for average, steal a ton of bases, that's good. That's a middle infielder. He's second base and shortstop eligible. And he could end up stealing 50-plus bases. And some of us might look back and say, damn, should have got me some Bryce Terang for my steal situation. Hey, Jimmy's here. What's up, James? My man here. James is one of our fellow patrons. You could be a patron starting at just $3. Get exclusive access to me. I'll help you with your team. We can talk directly. I'll give you my phone number. I'll be your friend. I really will. Michael Conforto or Tyler O'Neill worth adding in a 12-teamer? That's a good one. That is a good one. Let's see. Well, let's take a look at So the Red Sox will be heading to Oakland. They're in Seattle, and Tyler's already hit 2 dongs, stolen a base. He's not hurt. That's good news. I think, going to Oakland's fun this week. And Conforto, they're taking on the Dodgers, like I said. That's right. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Tyler O'Neill. Yeah. It's a little closer than we think, but especially if you want to get some added speed, I'm going with Tyler O'Neill, and I'm locking that in. Tyler O'Neill over Michael Conforto. There it is. So let it be written, so let it be done. Let's see, anything else? Brenton Doyle had a nice game on Saturday. That's fun. That's more of a deep league situation, but he can steal bags, and he's been in the lineup every day. He's there. He's making an argument. Brenton Doyle, take a look. Graham Pauley, he went yard. Graham Pauley's a guy who got a lot of heat for his Arizona Fall League, right? And he went yard, and he went 1 for 3 today. This was his first start today, though. The question is playing time. I don't think there's any doubt about Graham Pauley's talent. The question is, how often can he get in the lineup? And it might not be enough right now to matter, unfortunately. All right, let's talk about the Blue Jays situation. So Kevin Biggio hit a home run on opening day, and everyone said, yeah, Kevin Biggio. And Kevin Biggio played in all 4 games in Tampa. He did. All 4. That's right. And he was okay. He drew several walks, which is good. OBP, that helps. But the thing is that Bo Bichette is having neck spasms, and he sat out today. And this is a developing situation. That's right. Bo Bichette could be some problems here.
That's putting it mildly.
We always know there are problems with Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette had a great opening day. Yeah, he went 2 for 4, drove in 2 runs. Great. Then he went 0 for 4 twice, and now he sat out Sunday with neck spasms. How serious is this? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's going to take time, right? I don't know if it's... The only reason I care about Bo Bichette is because I still have him in my home league. I do. But I couldn't draft him anywhere else because his injury concerns are a bummer.
Utah, give me 2.
Oh, shit, my mic's been off. Wham! My mic was off that whole time. How long? Did you hear that?
Utah, give me 2.
There you go. You heard that. Sorry about that. It sucks when my mic goes off. I was basically telling you that David Schneider, my boy, hit a home run. Did you hear that? Today, Bo Bichette has neck spasms. That sucks. And Gabriel Urias is worth adding in deeper leagues of the Cleveland Guardians. Also, Mitch Haniger, he's going to be on everybody's waiver wire / fab article. And he should be added in 12-teamers and higher. Mitch Haniger and 10-teamers I would hold off on. But I drafted him in Glarf in Cleveland in February. His shit is for real. So, okay, so everything should be back now. I fixed everything. Yay! Sorry about that. I think I'm going to have to wrap it up here soon. I got to get back to studying for this epic national counselor's exam. This thing's intense. A lot of people say it's a tough one. It's not easy. It's really, really tough. So I've been busting my butt since I realized I couldn't change the date on it. It's Thursday morning, live. It's do or die. I got to do what I got to do. I got to throw down for this test, and it takes a lot of work. Philadelphia situation, by the way, Brandon Marsh hit a dong, which is cool. Brandon Marsh and Johan Rojas both played in the game together as well. But Rojas played, Marsh has sat today. I got to give Rojas a little bit more time, but he's batting 9th, and there's not a lot of trust in him right now because they have so many other options in Philly's lineup that they dig. But Marsh is the guy who could be more useful from a fantasy perspective right now if you're looking for all cats. If you're looking for steals, Rojas superior, but it just seems like Marsh has more of an advantage right there. He's just a little more advanced, and he's healthy. You know, he was hurt in spring training, but he came back. He's good to go. And like we said, the Alec Thomas injury, that's something to keep an eye on here. It's a developing situation. We got to be patient there. Jake McCarthy's great for steals. If he could play regularly, Jake McCarthy could rack up steals. I don't love his skill set, but for steals, Jake McCarthy is an absolute viable, useful fantasy asset across fantasy. Baseball, that is. Okay. So much to mention, so much to do, but I got to wrap this up. Talk a little bit about pitching. Can we do pitching? Does that bother anyone? How about that? Pitchers. Let's do starting pitchers. Actually, one moment here. Let me look at this. If you got any other questions, ask them now. I'm still here. I'm here for you. All right, so we're looking at two-steppers on Monday. All right, Emerson Hancock. I drafted, me and Jeff, me and Jeff, my co-partner on the main event team. Him and I drafted Emerson Hancock on Tuesday because Brian Wood gotten hurt. Plus, Emerson Hancock, first-round pick out of Georgia. He's got a nice frame. He looks the part, right? So the question is, what will we get? You're going to get a two-stepper out of Hancock this week. And I would definitely add Emerson Hancock. It's a guy that should definitely be added to squads. Take a chance. He's taking on Cleveland on Monday, right? So it's worth it. Give it a shot. You know, buy a ticket, take the ride. You know what I mean, Vern? He's a guy who has a lot of talent. And in his career, Emerson Hancock has been in the minors so far. And he was drafted in 2020, the 2020 draft. And he's been solid in the minors. So I think we're looking at a guy, if he can tap into the best of himself, 98 innings last year, AA, had a 4.32 ERA, 3.5 walks per nine, K per nine close to 10 is nice. Didn't give up a ton of dongs either, and only 12 innings pitched with the Mariners last year. You can't put a lot of stock into that, but he looked all right. We just got to see him keep the walks down. But he doesn't give up a lot of dongs, and obviously against a team like Cleveland, you should worry because Cleveland's offense is back on track this year. It really is. I love Cleveland's offense. God, I love Cleveland's offense. I like Kansas City's offense. Obviously, the Rangers, Philadelphia, Dodgers are just massive. Oh, Durf Boy's here. What's up, Durf Boy? May subscribe. Give us a like right here. Love to have you here. Don't forget the Discord's free. Get in the Discord. You can ask questions there. Palazzo Podcast, 2 L's,
Utah.
2 Z's.
Give me 2.
It's in the description. Paul Skeens worth a stash. Well, what kind of league are we talking here, Durf Boy? How deep is this league? We need to know that. He's worth a stash in the 14-teamers and deeper. Yeah. And how many IL spots do you have? How many NA spots do you have? Is it taking up a bench spot? I don't love doing that. Depending on how shallow the bench is, that could be a problem. So when you ask a stash question, you got to think about all of those variables. Now, I'm not trying to make it more complicated. I'm just telling you. 12-team roto, okay. And do you have a spot where he can sit and not take up a bench spot? Because I don't know how quickly Skeens is going to come up. I know Jared Jones showed up, and it looks good. But the Pirates are off to a good start here. They like the team they have, and they've got more talent than maybe they realize. So it's not just so easy for Paul Skeens to roll up in here and say, I was the number 1 pick. Step aside, son. Well, you can't just do that, right? No. So think about that. Consider that notion as we think about it right now with the Pirates rotation. Luis Ortiz, he's a reliever now in the pen for the Pirates, and I like that. I like that very much. It sucks that he's not a starter right now, but he got the win the other day, and the Pirates pen with Luis Ortiz and Ronzi Contreras, I mean, these are guys that are very useful. Aroldis Chapman. And you look at the rotation, you got Mitch Keller, Martin Perez, Jared Jones, who's awesome, Bailey Falter, and Marco Gonzalez. They have 3 lefties in this rotation as of now. And, yeah, there might be a chance where one of these guys shits the bed and Skeens does get a call. But it might not happen until May. That's the problem. So that's where I'm at with Skeens. It's a crapshoot sometimes to try to figure out when these guys are going to get called up, and I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to tell you, I know when Paul Skeens will be called up. End of story. But if he gets called up, in May, they can secure that extra additional year of service time for Paul Skeens, which looks like they want to do that, and how Paul Skeens performs in the minors. Does he show like, oh, this guy's just so elite? He needs to be in the majors. That combined with the current rotation and some of those guys in the rotation for the Pirates are not so great. What about, months behind? What's up, months behind? Hey, we're all behind here, so you're in good company. Welcome in. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, be a part of things here. We'd love to have you. We're your friends. We got lots of other Palazzo people too. It's not just me. I'm just here today. Usually Mike Virginia does this show. Shout out to Mike Virginia. Follow him at _Mike VA. He's just taking the day off. Weekend off. It's Easter for him. Good times. Take care of yourselves. It does matter. But yeah, Jacob Mizorowski, he's a very talented player. And projecting his call-up is also complicated. I can't give you a good timeline on that because if you look at the Brewers rotation, and the Brewers have got off to a good start here in New York, post Craig Counsell era, some fear there, but Freddie Peralta, DL Hall, Colin Ray, Jacob Junis, Joe Ross. I mean, Joe Ross, 31 years old, back from the dead. I'm not buying that. That can't last, right? But in the bullpen, the Brewers have some guys like Bryce Wilson, who is a former starter. I don't know if he could be a starter now. Also, Abner Uribe. God, I said it on this show. I went on the show On the Wire, the Pitcher List podcast, which is a great show. My guys, Adam Howe, Kevin Hastings, shout out to both of those guys. Make sure you check out On the Wire. It's a great show. And I told them, they asked for a reliever we need to know about now who could matter later. And I said it was Abner Uribe, and he's mattered right now instead of later, with Devin Williams getting injured, because that show we did was right around when Devin Williams hadn't quite fallen out of the picture with his spinal issues. Abner Uribe is awesome. He is so awesome. And the Brewers are so good that Joel Pamps, that's right, my guy Pampers, Joel Pamps got the save today because Uribe had already had 2 straight days of saves. So we've seen what the order of the hierarchy is for that bullpen. And it's Uribe and Pamps, and everybody else is third. But as far as rotation and Jacob Misiorowski, the question you're asking about here, Wade Miley's on the IL, and Brandon Woodruff's out for the year, so we're not going to worry about him. But he could be a factor. I mean, they still got Aaron Ashby and that guy Jansen Junk. I haven't seen Junk up in a minute, but he's still hanging around. So, and then Robert Gasser got hurt, right, too. So that's good news for Misiorowski. But he's at AA right now, and I'm not so sure he gets up this year unless they really feel he's needed or he shows out. So I would be more patient on Misiorowski at this time. That's how I feel about it. I'm going to lock that in.
Go Tigers.
Oh, yeah. Always go Tigers around here, right? Okay. Oh, God. I feel like there's more stuff I missed. Let me just give you guys a message here. Don't panic on certain players. They get off to rough starts here, especially pitchers. Like we said, Kenta Maeda, give him a pass. AJ Puck, I said, I wasn't into, but give him a pass. Bailey Ober, don't freak out. You got to stay the course. Don't do a rage drop. Rage drops get us into trouble. You know what? They don't help us, right? They don't make a difference in our life in a real meaningful way. And I think it's best to just relax. Now, you want to try to, getting Jared Jones, that was a guy that showed you some real stuff, right? That was awesome. So guys like that, I understand why you want to get them.
Round 1, fight.
That's right, but it's only round 1. That's right. We got a long way to go here. So I told you about some guys I would add, and then I wanted to say a few pitcher sides. Zach Liddell was great. Took on the Blue Jays, got the W through 6 innings, struck out 6. Zach Liddell? Is that like Chuck Liddell, but it's Liddell? I'll have to look into that. But Zach Little's a guy that should be added, and he's only rostered in 15% of Yahoo leagues. Pick his ass up. Seth Lugo is good. Seth Lugo went head-to-head with Joe Ryan, my boy, and Seth Lugo threw 6 strong innings, 4 Ks. You actually look at it, the Kansas City pitching staff did a really good job. The starting rotation did a pretty damn good job with Cole Reagans, Lugo, Brady Singer against the Twins offense. Nice work. Nice job. Then there's Ryan Yarbrough. He got a really long save, but this is a guy I was looking to add in a lot of teams just because he'll get innings. He could start on occasion as spot starter, but he's a long reliever, and he can get wins and saves and keep your ratios down. And that's the best part. 4 2/3 innings of real solid ball to start the year for Ryan Yarbrough. I am telling you now, depending on your league format, Yarbrough is a worthwhile guy to have. Could even get some holds too, possibly. And he's only available in 91% of leagues. He's very, very readily available. Ryan Yarbrough. Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Cody Bradford, not Corey Bradford. Corey Bradford was the Oakland Athletic that was in the movie Moneyball, right? I think I have that correct. I do.
Wow, dude.
But then Cody Bradford is a Texas Rangers pitcher who got the win over the weekend against the Cubs. Pitched 5 innings, 6 Ks, was good. And if you're a starting pitcher, he also has starting pitcher and reliever pitcher eligibility on Yahoo. So that's a bonus. Cody Bradford, definitely worth adding in 12-teamers and deeper. Anytime you get a good pitcher who can throw some innings like that, that's fun. Lance Lynn against his former mates in the LA Dodgers, he looked really good. I mean, he only went 4 innings, but he struck out 5, and he limited that offense. That's mind-blowing, isn't it? So Lance Lynn, now a Cardinal. Maybe he feels most comfortable being a Cardinal, back where he belongs. Another guy that should be added in Borderline 12 and deeper. Borderline 12 and deeper for Lance Lynn. My guy, Brian Bello, only struck out 2 guys, but he went 5 innings. He got the win for the Red Sox over the weekend. I love Brian Bello, or Bayo. Sorry. It's Bello, but it might be Bayo. I love his stuff. I think there's a lot more K's where that came from, but the fact that he just got the win over the weekend, good enough for me. I'll take it. My other guy, Logan Allen, he's only available across 70% of leagues in Yahoo. Logan Allen of the Cleveland Guardians. He should definitely be on more teams. He's an excellent pitcher on a good team, Cleveland, this year. Mike Soroka is terrible. Do not use him anywhere. Sixto Sanchez, he's pitched 3 innings, and he got ripped a little bit for some earned runs, but didn't strike out anybody either. So maybe that Sixto Sanchez closer role freak out. Slow down, right? Slow down. Yeah, I think that's best I can do. I really got to go and study here. That'll do it. This is the fabulous Waiver Wire live chat. Do this every Sunday. Mike Virginia will usually be here holding down the fort, doing his thing, and he's really good at it. So make sure you subscribe, follow him at _Mike VA. He's a good man and thorough. I'm at MJ Govier, Palazzo Podcast, 2 L's,
Utah.
2 Z's.
Give me 2.
And we've been doing this. This is our 5th year. We've been around. We love this stuff. I've been playing this game for 24 years. I know what I'm doing. Chad says AJ Puck closer role is ramping up, though. Yeah, that's fine. Go back to the back of the bullpen where you belong, AJ. You don't belong up here with the rotational people, and that's fine. Being a closer is great. Being an elite closer is outstanding. And you can make good money. Ask Josh Hader, right? It's pretty cool. So thank you for being here. It's been a lot of fun. I try to cover as much as I can. Also, Charlie Blackmon of the Colorado Rockies hits leadoff.
Coors.
Yeah, he hits leadoff. He stole a bag. He gets on base. He's still here. So he has to be considered. He's the kind of guy you're like, oh, God, Charlie Blackmon, I got to go there again. Yeah, you still got to go there. Also, Randy Arozarena will have a career year this year. He's on fire to start the season. He came in looking massive, like he was the Hulk, and he's showing out. He's stealing double bags. He's hitting dongs. Arozarena's ready to rock, and I love him. Also, C.J. Abrams stole 3 bags in one day. That's fun. He's probably going to try to steal 90 bags this year. And what else do I want to cover here? I mentioned that. Also, in the back of the Royals bullpen, James MacArthur blows a save, and Will Smith, old man Will Smith, gives up 4 earned runs in a terribly blown save loss. So I think Will Smith, you shouldn't read, hey, guy had a bad day. Will Smith gave up 4 earned runs. It happens. Move on. But I did not target Will Smith anywhere. I'm done with him. But James MacArthur didn't help the cause, although he did not get shelled as hard as Will Smith did in the back of that bullpen. I'm still pro MacArthur, anti Will Smith. I feel good about that. Evan Phillips is the closer in L.A., the Dodgers. He already had 2 quick saves. I undervalued him. I did. Also, Nick Pivetta looked really good. So people are wondering, will Pivetta continue to do what he did last year? His first start looked very good. He looks like he's got it. Kyle Harrison of the Giants, a guy I also love. I add Kyle Harrison. I'm a big fan of what he offers, that home ballpark, the team he's on. The Giants offense is better than we were thinking. And I've said that before, I'll say it again. We dismiss them, and it's not nice. Okay? Don't dismiss the Giants. Although Tanner Scott is better, says SSOJ.TV2. Are you a bot or a real person? That's a hell of a name. Tanner Scott's good. He had a great year last year. Blackmon or McCarthy for final fab slot? I would go Blackmon. I would. Because it's Coors. And if he's going to be at the top of that lineup, shit. McCarthy's, it's if you need steals, though. If McCarthy's only good for steals, really. Blackmon can score runs, drive in runs, get on base. And he's still around until he gets hurt. Which would never happen, right? Oh, my God. I'm sure there's more I haven't covered here. This week's streamers, this week's look ahead, 2-steppers. I mean, there's so much to cover, and I just can't do it all in one day, but I wish I could. I wish I could be your guys' friends, and we could all just, spend time together and talk about baseball all day long, and someone would pay us to do so, like a full living wage. Wouldn't that be awesome? Man, I would love that. That would be really cool. But life's not always that easy. Jordan Wicks should be a guy that we look at and say, 6 strikeouts in 4 innings. That's good. So that was promising today. Like to see that. Eric Fetty. Now, this is the guy that came back from Korea and pitching in Korea, I believe. 4 2/3 innings, 7 Ks. Pump up those Fetty numbers. Fetty should be in Well, they got Atlanta up next, but he'll miss Atlanta in the return of the rotation. Feddy's a guy that we should be in business with, for sure. And then my guy, Paul Blackburn, what can I say? 7 innings. Didn't strike out a lot of guys, but very, very good start. 7 innings, didn't give up a single run. Paul Blackburn. Who told you? I told you. Who else told you? Bob Dole on this very show during the Bozo Fest opening day eve. It was awesome. We love Paul Blackburn. He's underrated, and he should be on your rosters. Trevor Rogers, the guy I drafted a ton last year. Trevor Rogers, he went 5 innings today, struck out 6, but he also got ripped a bit. So it's classic Trevor Rogers. He looks like this guy that you really want to have. You're like, oh, I got to have Trevor Rogers. But then when you actually get it and you open it up, it's like, this kind of stinks. I don't know. I don't think I want Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers is promising, but he's kind of he'll freak you out. Garrett Whitlock struck out 8 today. That was really, really good. He was being highly touted across many different platforms right before opening day. And then, the old man, Carlos Carrasco, 5 innings, 3 Ks. Not a great outing, though. He got hit a bit. Whip was a little high, not god awful. But he did make the 40-man roster, and he did start today. And then there's Tyler Wells, 6 innings, 7 Ks. Gave up a few runs, but he kept it in check. Was really, really solid. Did not get the win as the Baltimore Orioles actually lost to the Angels. But Tyler Wells, I loved him. I've always loved him. I wrote a love letter to him on this YouTube channel last year. I did that. I love you, Tyler Wells. So there's a lot to be excited about there from today's action. Man, there's a lot of pitchers where you got to make choices like, I don't want to give up on him yet. I don't want to give up on him yet. Tomorrow we're going to see James Paxton in action. I'll be very curious to see how he does against San Francisco. Also, Joe Boyle's debut for the season against the Red Sox. That's going to be challenging. Of course, we just talked about earlier in the show, Uncle Ted brought up Matt Waldron taking on the Cardinals tomorrow. Bowden Francis is a guy whose name kind of came out of nowhere right before the season started as a viable replacement option in Toronto, and he's going to be on the hill tomorrow. So cool. Also, Ronel Blanco, like Uncle Ted said. Those are a couple of guys that are worth noting. Okay? All right, there it is. Now I have to go. I really have to go. It's bedtime for Bonzo. Is that a Ronald Reagan movie, by the way? Bedtime for Bonzo. Curtis Meade's value just skyrocketed with Caminero looking like a long IL stint is coming. Yes. Bad news. Caminero should be a part of this game. It sucks that he's going to be hurt. It's a bummer. Also, Royce Lewis. Not a shocker at all. I love Royce Lewis. He even hit a home run, and then he tore his quad off his bone. God, it's so sad. It's so disappointing to see Royce Lewis continually get hurt. But this was the fear, right? And it's a real quad injury that's going to be a real problem. He could be out for multiple months. It's just so sad. Did you see his quote? No, Chad, what's the quote? Give me the quote, and then I'm leaving. I'm too good for my own good. Oh, man. That is sad. I'm too good for my own good, said Royce Lewis. Well, we'll leave it there. Thanks for being a part of the fabulous Waiver Wire Show. Week 1, opening day weekend. So much to cover, so much more to talk about. Stick with us. I love talking baseball. I'm just gobbling up all these stats, but we got to make decisions with these stats, too. That's the best part. I'm a happy man. I'm a happy fella. Plots of Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's. Thanks for being here.
Give me
Thanks,
2.
everybody in live chat, everybody watching. Subscribe, like the video. The YouTube is where we really need the help the most. That's what helps the channel grow. We're on our quest to 1,000. We're 3 away from 700. Make our dreams come true. Thank you.